Chapter 12, 81, Washed Away. Translator, Atlas Studios. Editor, Atlas Studios. Reverse flow. River flowed silently. The further they went ahead, the calmer the river surface. However, to the swimmers, reverse flow river was like a torrential tide. It defied all thoughts of traveling ahead. Destruction of the body was not scary. Destruction of thoughts and the mind was scary. In the past, even Renzu failed in reverse flow river. These Gu immortals were doing the same thing as Renzu now. Damn it! I cannot continue anymore. At the next moment, Yu Yi Yazi reached his limits. He could not continue anymore. He was washed away by the tides. And the second central continent Gu immortal, followed by the third. Shi Zheng Yi gave it his all, but he failed and was washed away by a reverse flow river. Bu Zhenzi was unwilling, but he could only float away. Bi Chen Tian and the rest were showing ugly expressions as each central continent Gu immortal got eliminated. Not long after, out of the central continent Gu immortals, only rank 8 Wei Lingyang was left. Being able to reach rank 8, he truly had shocking willpower. Wei Lingyang showed the foundation of a rank 8 great expert. As for those Gu immortals who were washed away, they were all gathered by Bi Chen Tian and went back to the group. They were not obstructed by old ancestor Shuehu or the dog-tail life-extending ferret Mao Li Chou. Why is it that our Gu immortals were all swept away, but these random people are still inside the river? Some central continent Gu immortals were very unhappy towards Ying Wuxi's gang and Fang Yuan. At merely rank 6, their willpower is truly shocking, but we were all defeated. They will fail soon, a central continent Gu immortal who was just swept out of the river said. But they did not manage to see Fang Yuan or Ying Wuxi fail before a situation occurred around Ma Hongyun. Ma Hongyun, who was swimming forward, choked on the river water as he was nearly swept away. Be careful, Bi Chen Tian couldn't help but call out. Ying Wuxi was overjoyed, but soon Ma Hongyun continued to swim forward, moving his arms. It was just a scare. It's that girl, hehe. Her willpower is shocking too. Mao Li Chu could see the subtle details. At the crucial moment, Zhao Lianyun had helped Ma Hongyun and stabilized his condition. Well, the truth was, after reverse flow river went back to normal, the river surface became smooth. It did not challenge one's physical stamina as much. Especially towards the upstream, the river became more shallow, but its reflective power against willpower and mental energy became stronger. Hongyun, we cannot be separated anymore. Do you know, in order to be with you again, how much have I experienced? How much hardship have I gone through? And how much I have lost? Zhao Lianyun had lost her voice and could not speak, but at this moment, she had no such energy anyway. Her aged body was unleashing strength that even Zhao Lianyun could not believe she had. Zhao Lianyun had forgotten about her stamina and age. She was purely wanting to be together with Ma Hongyun, even if they were swimming for their lives and could not even look at each other. Even if she could not speak, and danger was right behind them. No matter how bad the situation is, I need to persevere. Every minute and second that I spend with him, fighting alongside him, regardless of the situation, I have never been so blissful. Ma Hongyun and Zhao Lianyun continued moving forward. Even though they were slow, the situation was stabilizing. It was just a scare. Bi Chen Tian and the other central continent Gu immortals, and even Flood Extremity and Black Extremity, were having their hearts shake from the shock. Old ancestor Shuehu snorted coldly. He did not conceal his disappointment. The immortals watched reverse flow river. Every action caused deep emotions to form in their hearts. Even though some of them were rank 8 existences, and even though the rank 6 and 7 Gu immortals were experts among those with the same cultivation level, elites of their regions. Even my immortal zombie body is feeling tired? Ying Wuxi smiled bitterly. Purple Mountain. True Monarch was on his head, pulling Ying Wuxi's hair. He was causing a din as he cried, or laughed at times. I am just a split soul of the main body. I have not lived for a long time. But since coming to life, I knew that I had my own responsibilities. Right now, Lord Purple is crazy. I cannot ignore him. He might choke to death in the river. I am Shadow Sec's only hope. Even if I die from exhaustion here, I cannot give up. Only by capturing Zhao Lianyun and Ma Hongyun can I stall for time until Lord Purple awakens again. His duty was making Ying Wuxi persevere. Bai Ningbing gritted her teeth. Her chest was pumping up and down. She even laughed lightly. Her face was distorted. Excitement was in her eyes. Exciting? This is truly exciting. In Reverse Flow River, I have experienced a new type of excitement never felt before. This is the road that Renzu once walked on. Interesting. This is simply too interesting. Even if I fail, this trip was worth it. Even if I die, this life was worth it. He Lu Lan was filled with anger. How can I stop here? Mother, I have not avenged you yet. I have not killed that man with my own hands yet. Ah, I need to persevere. He Lu Lan was trembling. She was showing indomitable willpower. However, as time passed, some people could not persevere. Will my excitement end here? I have not taken revenge yet. Bai Ningbing and He Lu Lan were out of energy. They were washed away. But their safety was ensured. Old ancestor Xue Hu was already waiting for them outside. This way, there were only 6 people left in Reverse Flow River. Ma Hongyun and Zhao Lianyun were still at first place. Ying Wuxi and the crazy Purple Mountain, True Monarch, were second. Fang Yuan was third. Wei Lingyang was fourth. There is still hope. Right now, old ancestor Xue Hu's hopes were all on Ying Wuxi. As long as Ying Wuxi captured Ma and Zhao, old ancestor Xue Hu's side would gain the initiative. They would be able to threaten Bi Chen Tian and the others, as well as Longevity Heaven's dogtail life-extending ferret. But if Ma Hongyun and Zhao Lianyun were swept away, then everyone would have a chance. A huge battle would occur. It was unclear who would win. It would depend on their strength and also luck. Lord Wei Lingyang, it will depend on you now. Bi Chen Tian thought. He clenched his fists that were full of sweat. The dog-tail life-extending ferret was laughing. Its eyes were staring at the river, thinking of something. Ah, the glory of heavenly court. A moment later, Wei Lingyang sighed out loud as he reached his limits. Despite his unwillingness, he was washed away by Reverse Flow River. Central Continent's Gu Immortals were shocked. They were completely stunned. Someone screamed in disbelief. How can this be? Lord Wei Lingyang is a rank 8 Gu Immortal. How could he lose to these people? Swimming in Reverse Flow River has nothing to do with cultivation level. It depends on your willpower, someone explained. Central Continent's Gu Immortals were silent. Did this mean that the great rank 8 Central Continent Gu Immortal, Wei Lingyang's willpower, was inferior to these people? Bi Chen Tian slowly spoke. Don't forget, Ma Hongyun and Zhao Lianyun had rested on the floating mound earlier, according to the information. They even had fruits to eat. When Reverse Flow River engulfed everything, they were at the front. The Gu Immortals behind them also went through many struggles. Their stamina and willpower were greatly expended. The Central Continent. Gu Immortals finally realized. That's true. Even though Lord Wei Lingyang lost, if they had the same starting point, he would definitely be the victor. Because of Bi Chen Tian's words, the Central Continent Gu Immortals' morale stabilized. Bi Chen Tian was expressionless. His mood was heavy. What do we do now? Bi Chen Tian was hesitant. The Central Continent group had a huge disadvantage. The wise choice was to retreat and preserve their strength. They could go to Black Heaven and try to meet with Myriad Tidal Dragon, using the Immortal Gu House to see if they could turn this around. There was a third option. It was to stay here and contest for Ma and Zhao with old ancestor Xue Hu and the dogtail life-extending ferret. We should discuss this after Wei Lingyang returns. This was a huge matter. Bi Chen Tian could not make the decision. He was not the leader, Wei Lingyang was. But while they were waiting, another change occurred in Reverse Flow River. I will not give in, Ying Wuxi bellowed as he raised his head, but Reverse Flow River engulfed him as he was swept away. Is it finally ending? Ying Wuxi, die! Fang Yuan screamed internally. He was waiting for this moment all along. He collided heavily with Ying Wuxi. Both sides were fighting in the water. They stopped advancing. This way, Fang Yuan and Ying Wuxi, as well as Purple Mountain True Monarch, could not help but be washed downstream by Reverse Flow River. Sovereign Immortal Body versus the Strength Path Immortal Zombie. Undeniably, Ying Wuxi was at a disadvantage. He was quickly beaten until he suffered bone fractures by Fang Yuan's punches and kicks. But the immortal zombie body was dead to begin with. Its only weakness was the brain. Even the heart was not a weakness. Fang Yuan had become an immortal zombie for some time. He naturally knew this, but Ying Wuxi was defending his head. He disregarded the rest of his body and only protected his skull. Undeniably, this was a wise decision. Once he stalled for time and Fang Yuan was swept out of Reverse Flow River, Ying Wuxi would counterattack. Don't forget, He Lan, Bai Ningbing, and old ancestor Shui Hu were already outside the river. Among everyone here, Fang Yuan was the only one who was truly alone. He was racing against time. Fang Yuan wanted to kill Ying Wuxi and Purple Mountain True Monarch before they got out of Reverse Flow River, while Ying Wuxi was stalling for time, trying to survive. Fang Yuan was not able to do anything to Ying Wuxi at the moment.